Welcome to America's Commercial Real Estate Show, your source for market intel, forecast, and strategies. Hello, I'm Michael Bull. Thank you for being with us. Our show today is brought to you by CommercialAgentSuccess.com. Check it out. These are 21 one-hour videos. They're designed mainly for commercial real estate brokers. They're pretty advanced. You can access them online immediately. Learn more at CommercialAgentSuccess.com. Which kind of leads well into what our show's about today. And this is a little different. I do a show once a year, and to try to put it out in the holiday season, this is kind of my holiday gift, if you will, to salespeople who do business development and sales, or leaders of companies who have sales division. And what the show is about is business and personal success strategies, and it's the top 10, or the main 10, if you will, that I think are most important to help us stay in tune to being successful in business and personal. And number one is, let me just say that I am not that successful. I feel like I'm sharing these things because I studied it all my life, and I help businesses and investors be successful, and brokers that I help throughout the country, and at my office in the Southeast U.S. here. But I am not near as successful as I should be or want to be. So I think that's the number one, is realize that we can always get better, right? Be humble. Know that our brains and we have so much more within us that we can do that we're not really taking advantage of. And be humble. Don't think that you're as best you can be. I see some salespeople, I'm a great salespeople. I'm good with people, say I'm good with people, and they're not really getting any better, and they're getting left behind. So number one is just being humble. Realize you can always get better and try to get better. All right, number two. To me, for business and personal success strategies, number two is integrity. Right? That's really why my company exists. It wouldn't exist if it wasn't for integrity, meaning that I was a successful commercial broker or agent, and I had a really nice practice, and a lot of companies were trying to recruit me. I had a huge market share of multifamily in Atlanta at the time. And some of the things I saw some of the brokers did at some of the shops, I thought lacked integrity. What in the way I'd want my property sold if I was the client, and some of it done in front of them with their knowledge that they didn't understand, I don't think, how it hurts them. So, I created Bull Realty headquartered in Atlanta because I wanted to work at a company known for integrity. And I think when you use integrity, you just build your business, you build your reputation. And I think one of the easy buttons there is to treat everyone in a transaction the way you would want to be treated if you were them, while keeping in mind who your client is. That, to me, is the easy button. That when a deal finishes, if it goes well or it doesn't go, treat everyone professionally, the way you want to be communicated with, treated, things disclosed, everything handled professionally the way you'd want to be treated if you were them. And it just builds upon itself. So integrity, I believe, is number one. And another thing, I think loyalty is a big part of integrity. Number three in the top 10, success in business strategies, training. Yes, training. I believe that's the reason that I made it as a young man, was I realized, to me, I was like, I know nothing about nothing really. There's so much to learn in commercial real estate brokerage, from law to contracts to accounting to construction and to the market and sales and negotiation and time. I mean, the list just goes on and on, right? So I think people who do really well in business and personal success do a lot of training. They realize they can learn more. Like, I already have my goals for the next year ahead of me of the things I want to train on and get better at. And I've got calendared, right? I've got it in focus of the things I'm going to improve on. And some of the times when I see, if you use commercial agents, for example, a lot of times they're not really getting good training. They're not seeking it out. Sometimes they'll think, well, if my company provides it, that's all I need. Or if my company doesn't provide it, I don't need it, or I shouldn't go get it. Hogwash. If you're a real estate agent, you're commissioned only probably, and you basically run your own business. So you want to go out there and get all the training you can. You should know every commercial real estate agent training system. I can tell you that we have them all at our shop. We've had them all here. Go seek out commercial agent training. If that's what you do, you will get better. You provide way better services for your clients. Okay, number 4 And business and success strategies are goals. And we've all heard about goals. We all have goals. We all use them. But do we use them enough? Do you have a 10-year plan, 5-year plan, 1-year plan, monthly plan? And here's where I think it gets really more important, in my view, is weekly and daily. Especially if you're the first level salesperson, like you're a commercial real estate agent, for example. It's really about this simple practices, practice daily. That's what one of Bob McComb's trainer with Top Dogs quotes, that there's a process, and if you do these things every day, then you're probably going to make it and be successful. So I think goals are a really big part of it. All right, let's go to number 5, which I think works with goals, and that's accountability. Track things, right? You run a business as a salesperson, or you run a business, you want to track things so that you know what's going on. And do you have accountability? One of my favorite examples is I've always studied top producing commercial agents around the country all my life, and there's just top business people. And one of the things that really surprised me when I read about it was there was the top salesperson at Northwestern, I think it was, in the world or in the country. And so he was really knocked out of the park. And I read about him, and he had hired a coach. I'm like, what? What do you mean he hired a coach? This guy knows how to sell. Obviously, he's right at the top. And I read and checked it out further. And what happened, why he did it, is that he wanted to make sure he was number one every year. Well, to do that, he really knew what he needed to do. He knew how many contacts he needed to make, how many calls. He knew the process. He knew how to sell. He knew how to close. So all he was really paying this coach for was accountability. It's accountability, right? He wanted to say, this is what I know I need to do, and this is what I need to do each day, and I want to report it to someone that's going to hold me accountable, and I'm going to pay them to do that. So accountability is a big part of success. All right. Number six on the top 10, motivation, right? If you're not motivated, none of this works, right? How do you find the motivation? I think, to me, it's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. And I think for me, it was one, at first it was just making it, making enough money to pay my mortgage. I bought a home pretty quickly as a young man, but it was just making it and having a lifestyle that was at least somewhat comfortable. And then as I got more successful and I started hitting goals that I didn't imagine I'd ever hit, it became, all right, now I need more motivation. I need more motivation. And one of my motivations was, we had about 50 agents in my shop, and I wanted to be number one. And it was like, you know what, if I'm not number one, then I don't know, it's going to be hurtful to me. It's just, I'm going to be upset about it. And that became very motivational to me. So it helped drive everything else. So find your own motivation, right? Is it pride? Is it being number one? Is it being economically set? Is it owning a certain amount of properties? Is it doing a certain amount of sale? What is it that motivates you, and find that motivation. And I think for a lot of us, we need to look for it, almost daily. Are we doing affirmations? Or are we reading? Are we listening? Are we doing things that help motivate us? I don't consider myself motivated at all. And I think that's one of the things that maybe helped me is I realized, I'm not motivated. So how do I motivate myself? And I find that motivation and look for it. I remember one time when I was really young, and I was out on Lake Lanier, and I went past this dock in a friend's boat. I didn't have a boat. And I went by this dock, and they had a double slip dock with a roof. And on the lift, this guy that lived there had a performance boat. And then on the other lift, he had a ski boat, and a nice lake house. And I went, you know what? I want that. That sounds like a great lifestyle to me. And it was one of my motivations. And luckily one day I did achieve that, and I do enjoy it. So, but you got to find what motivates you. It's all different. Find it. All right. On the top 10 list, number 7, that's mission. What is your mission statement, right? For your company, for your team, for yourself, what is your mission? And I'll use an example of commercial agents. I have a company that trains agents, as you heard, commercialagentsuccess.com. That is my company. And I speak at events around the country on the topic. So I'll use agents as an example. So here's one of the examples. My mission that I had when I was a young agent, and I started in the business full time, commission only at 22 years old. I identified a certain group of properties and the number of properties, the number of owners in a geographic area, and knew what buildings it was, what type, how many people there were, and I said, all right, everyone who controls these properties in this area, number one, they're going to know who I am. Number two, they're going to know I'm good at what I do. And number three, there's nothing they can blank do about it. Fill in the blank. And why do I use the blank? Because that gave me a mission, right? I can't make people work with me or want to work with me. But I can absolutely perform that mission. I can make sure that the people who own and control those properties know who I am. I can make sure they know that I'm good at what I do. And if I have that mission, and nothing they can blank do about it, I know I'm going to make that happen. And then that helps generate your business. So whatever your business is, whatever you do, make sure you've got a great mission statement. And you want to repeat it often to yourself, to your team. You almost can't repeat it enough. All right, let's go to number 8. Number 8 on personal and business success strategies. And I think number 8 to me is pride. It's pride. I look at some of the top producing sales folks in my office, and they're very top producers. But you also, if you look at their desks, you look at their clothes, you look at their car, they're proud people. I mean, they dress well, their clothes are neat, their car's clean. They're just proud people. And I think one of the things that can help make you more successful is to be proud. Do things that you're proud of in your life, the way you interact with people, the way you do business. So I think being proud of what you're doing and presenting yourself that way is helpful. All right, number 9 in my business and personal success strategies tips is communication. Hone your communication. Think about your communication. Study communication. One of my favorite books is to read is on body language in sales and understanding the how people are communicating with you without the words they're saying, with their body language. Communication, your emails, your posts, your discussions, everything that you do, think about your communication style. Things like mirroring. You all know what mirroring is, right? It's understanding the person you're talking to. Like in our business, we'll talk to somebody who's fast talking, quick to interrupt, person, and then the next person we're talking to is slow, easygoing, wants to move very slowly. And thinking about communicating with more than their style, it's called mirroring. That's very helpful. Another thing in communication is to be interested in other people. Be interested in helping them, getting to understand them personally and their mission at their company or their business. And how can you just be interested in them. I remember one of the podcasts I was listening to years ago, and a lady was upset because she wasn't getting along with her husband. It just really wasn't going well. And it was a religious podcast, but the story doesn't really have anything to do with religion. She was upset about not doing well. And then she started noticing her young daughter and her husband had a great relationship. And at some point she's like resenting it. Why do they have a great relationship and I don't? And then she noticed this. One day she goes out to the garage and her husband's out under the car. He's working on the car. And her daughter is sitting on the ground, just sitting there with him, being interested in what he was doing. She figured it out, right? If you're interested in doing things other folks are interested in, you might find them interesting. And, we can learn things from almost everyone we meet. So ask questions, be interested, and communicate well. And I'm going to keep this short. We're only going with 10. So my number 10 is valuable. Be valuable to the people around you, to the people that you're helping. There's a saying that I post sometimes on Twitter that is, when you light a candle for others, it also brightens your path. Be valuable, introduce people, motivate people, help them, train them, provide good information. Look, we do this show. We don't make money doing this show. We hope we're helping enough people that maybe some very small percentage of it comes back to us in some way. Maybe it's karma or whatever. But put yourself out there to help the people around you, whether they're employees, other salespeople, and be valuable to the people that you are selling to, your customers and your clients. And you can be valuable by just making sure you know what you're doing. Let's use commercial agents again as an example. Know the market, know the lease market, know the sale market, know the trends, know the absorption, know the available properties, know what the sold comps are, understand contracts, understand leases, study psychology, study sales, study time management, and think about the people you're helping and really be valuable to them. If you're going to reach out to someone, what's the value to them? Help them be more valuable. Well, I wanted to keep this short, just do some top 10. I hope you found some things in here to help you. If it didn't help you, or if you did, hey, if you could share it with others, pay it forward. It's one of the success strategies. So thanks for watching, or thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing the show. And till next week, I hope that you lead, learn, and laugh, and join us for America's Commercial Real Estate Show.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? On the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away, here's a bluebird, here to stay, here's a new bird. They sing a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. Well, in the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he's Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream of fire, to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Well, in the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman until the alligators knock him down. When it snows, ain't it thrilling? Through your nose gets a chillin'. We frolic and play the Eskimo way, walking in a winter wonderland. In a winter wonderland.
America's Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty, commercial real estate sales, leasing, and advisory services. Visit bullrealty.com or reach out to me directly. My email is michael@bullrealty.com. By ShareFile, designed with real estate and other highly regulated industries in mind, ShareFile offers secure digital solution to simplify workflow and improve collaboration. Visit sharefile.com. By Commercial Agent Success Strategies, 21 cloud-accessed agent training videos. Learn more at commercialagentsuccess.com. You're invited to subscribe to the show wherever you listen or watch the show. You're also invited to subscribe to a weekly email announcing the show topic and guests at creshow.com. Thank you for watching, listening, and sharing America's Commercial Real Estate Show.